The next issue on the cards is Fubara. Fubara has moved to APC. He has defected to APC. You know, today I saw the news that yesterday he visited President Tinubu. Yesterday, today is Tuesday. Yesterday, Monday, Governor Fubara had a closed door meeting with President Tinubu. They had a closed door meeting. The details of what they discussed was not disclosed, but today we have seen the outcome of that meeting. Today, Governor since he came back from that emergency room, I've not seen Governor in a better mood. Just today is the day that is as if he has been liberated, as if he's now free. If you see the way he talked, the way he sang on your mandate, you know that it's as if he's free at last. Something like that. That's the picture I get. We already know. I made a video where I talked about what has been happening. First, it was the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, who is a very close Wike ally, that first tried to raise dust and talked about teachers, not enough teachers, and where the governor had to respond. And then we have 16 or 17 members of the State House of Assembly defecting to APC, with 10 staying back in the PDP. Governor, wanted to present a budget to the Rivers State House of Assembly this December, but then the Rivers State House of Assembly now adjourned till next year, making it impossible for the governor to present the budget. So all that was playing out when similar Fubara sought audience with President Tinubu. So it was kind of an urgent meeting. And the first, in the videos I made before, I said that President Tinubu should intervene in the Rivers State situation before it gets out of hand, because the handwriting was already in the world that there was renewed crisis in Rivers State. So that was playing out. And then similar Fubara addressed. Today, he invited those people, his supporters. His key supporters were those he invited today, where he now told them he has met with the president and that he has gotten a signal. That they've gotten a signal. They got a signal and now they are moving to APC. See, in my own estimation, in my own assessment, right, this wasn't the plan. It was not Wike's plan for Rivers State to become APC. That wasn't Wike's plan. If Wike wanted to move to APC, he would have done so long ago. But that wasn't his plan. I think Wike, he spent a lot of money in helping the PDP during those years when he thought that he could run for president under the PDP. He spent a lot of money. He helped the PDP. So he feels that he has a stakehold in PDP. He feels that more of his structure, and rightly so, is in PDP. Right? And so the unfortunate thing for him now happened where he now lost to Atiku Abubakar in the PDP primaries. And then he now decided that he's going to make sure that Atiku doesn't win. We had that. Now, as at the point, I think that before he supported Tinubu, or at the point when he decided to support Tinubu, I think they had an agreement. I think there was an agreement between President Tinubu and Wike. Tinubu and Wike, seems they had this agreement. Wike likes agreement. Agreement is agreement. I think there was an agreement that, okay, Wike will come serve in Tinubu's cabinet. He will support Tinubu. He would make sure that the opposition parties are, uh, don't stand a chance. He will do all of that. But I think there was an agreement to let him manage River State. I think there was that agreement that the River State will be no go for the president. That is his own turf. That is his own home. He should be allowed to manage River State. I think there was such an agreement. And that is why even when things were spiraling out of control, the president was biding his time, biding his time, biding his time, hoping that things would resolve. They did not resolve. Because I think the president was at that point respecting that agreement he had with Wike. And for a long time, he just was biding his time, biding his time. And instead of even dealing with Wike, he even had to declare a state of emergency in River State. You know. But what has happened recently, and as reported by Sahara reporters and others, Wike is losing ground in the Tinubu circle. Wike is a close confidant of Tinubu. They are close, his close ally. And President Tinubu has said it as much. But in recent times, it seems their relationship is straining. They said that for the INEC chairman, Wike wanted someone else to be INEC chairman. He did not want Professor Joash Amopitan. He didn't want him. Wike wanted someone who, because Mahmoud Yakubu, as is reported, was close to Wike, worked with Wike when Wike was Minister of Education or something like that. So Mahmoud Yakubu has been seen as somebody who was close to Wike. So Mahmoud Yakubu leaving INEC, Wike wanted somebody that is also that probably has a relationship with. But President Tinubu didn't want that. President Tinubu preferred Joash Amopitan, And then what happened? When Amopitan was nominated, when he was screened by the Senate, before that, at the point where Amopitan's name was to be presented to Council of State that was attended by previous president and the current leadership of the country, with the state executive, state governors and all that, Wike did not attend. Such a meeting was not something that was optional. Council of State meeting, a minister will say he will not attend. That is not what happens. Because Wike felt offended that his own person was not nominated as INEC boss, he decided not to go. So that was that. And then we know that Wike has been involved in a number of things that were kind of embarrassing to the president. We have the issue of the altercation he had with Yerima. We had that issue. And we've had reports from the press of land being appropriated to his children, to his family members, appropriating lands to friends and allies, all of that. So all of those things have been put in, and the president at a point, as reported by People's Gazette, ordered that the office of the secretary to the federal government should investigate Wike. We had that one playing out with the recent things that happened. So it now appears that the president was and if you watch, in all of these things that is happening, there's never a president's press statement. President doesn't talk on it. None of the spokesperson, Bayo Nanuga, Sunday Dare, Daniel Bwala, Ortega, all those communication people, none of them addresses anything involving Wike. They don't talk about it. Well, look at that Yerima issue now. You will not find any presidential press statement or anything. Wike was no-go area for those pressmen. So it appears that the president has been bearing and bearing and bearing and bearing. I think this point now, the president is kind of tired of Wike. So that his agreement is now wearing the president thin. And what is happening now is this one is not in favor of Wike. Wike, in my own assessment, did not want to join APC. He wanted to support APC as long as he could. Then he will now maintain his PDP. So in the future, PDP he will now revive PDP and stuff like that. Remember, one of the PDP chieftains said that when they were having conversation with Wike to try to reconcile him with the party, with PDP, to try to make sure that things are well between them, they try to ask Wike, what do you want? So that all these issues can be settled, right? They asked Wike, and Wike said that PDP should not feed a presidential candidate for 2027. As one of the conditions he gave for him to settle with PDP, that they should not have a presidential candidate, a major opposition party. So we have that scenario playing out where we see that Wike wanted to stay in PDP, but he doesn't want PDP to present any formidable challenge to Tinubu, because if that happens, that will weaken his own position as a PDP man in Tinubu's cabinet. But by and large, the point is that Wike wanted to stay in PDP. And the reason why, think of it, Fubara would have defected to APC since he would have defected. Why did he not defect? Because he could not. Why did he have to go to Tinubu first and get signal before he now defected? It's because of Wike. Fubara could not go to APC because I don't think Wike approved it. Wike didn't want that. Wike wanted Fubara to stay in PDP. He wanted to maintain a structure in PDP because one day he is going to use it in a future PDP something. So this one that has happened now is not according to what Wike had planned. Forget about that. Those Rivers State House of Assembly members defected to PDP. Defected from it at first, initially. But when those House of Assembly members defected to APC, they did not, Wike did not join them. They defected, they tried to impeach Fubara, but Wike did not join their move to PDP to leave PDP to APC. Wike did not. So now, this thing that is playing out now is that Wike is losing ground. The confidence with which Fubara spoke today speaks to the fact that Fubara is getting more emboldened now. President Tinubu seemed to be telling him, go ahead. Wait to see what Wike will say. But if my suspicions are right, this is not the situation that Wike wanted. So what is playing out now is that Wike will now lose his ground as the one who is controlling Fubara. Tinubu will now be the form controlling Fubara. So where does that leave Wike? Some are suggesting that INEC is supporting the Turaki-led PDP that has expelled Wike. There's that suggestion there. So Wike, if the Turaki-led PDP, if the elective convention in Ibadan in November, if that one holds and Wike is out of PDP, will he now join APC? Wike doesn't want to go and join APC because, one, he doesn't really have foothold in APC. He doesn't. He's a PDP man. He has always been a PDP man. He doesn't have stronghold in APC. Remember, the APC didn't like him. Many of President Tinubu's supporters did not like Wike. And they said as much. Remember the late Jesu Tega and others. He came out and said one strong Tinubu supporter that later died, a lawyer. Jesu Tega said that APC never liked Wike. They never liked him. APC strong men. They never liked Wike. They just feel that, oh, this is President Tinubu's decision, but they never liked him. So he's not going to, if he goes to APC, he's not going to find any friendly this thing. Now, losing PDP is big deal for Wike. You can see him forming fashion, forming this. Losing PDP is a big deal for him. And him joining APC, I don't see that as a win for him. So this situation that is playing out now is not a win for Wike. It's not. But as the governor who always talk, as someone who talks a lot, always holding press conferences, holding media brief and all that, we know that soon enough we are going to hear from Wike and we'll hear what he will say. Maybe he try to spin it to the best way he can. But things are not looking good for Wike in Rivers, going by what we are saying today. This situation now, I think the next thing is that President Tinubu will call the Martins and Amewule-led people to Aso Rock. We'll call them, the State House of Assembly, call them to Aso Rock and give them marching orders. That is likely going to happen because that's the only thing that's remaining. The Martins and Amewule's this thing, trying to frustrate Fubara. That's the only thing. So if the president calls Martins and Amewule and tells them, see, it's not like the one you did before. Now I've spent a lot of my capital resources doing state of emergency, doing that. Now, if you don't do this thing, the next series of court decisions that you have, you're not find it funny. You understand? Because the Martins and Amewule thing, what helped Wike and his people is courts. It's the Supreme Court that helped Wike and his people. If not for Supreme Court, all those Martins and Amewule and others would have been gone, going by what the Constitution says and stuff like that. So now the presidency could make it clear to them. The reason why people are still there now is because I've allowed it. So if you like, now you have joined APC and Fubara has joined APC. You are both under my party now. Allow peace to reign and things to happen in the states. That will likely be what will happen next. President Tinubu has had a number of meetings with APC governors. PDP released a statement that the defection of Fubara to APC is a self-inflicted wound. I don't know what PDP should just focus on trying to put their house in order. Other people have left now. Governor Sheriff left PDP to APC. Umo Eno left PDP to APC. Peter Omba Enugu left PDP. Ademola Adeleke left PDP. Doyediri left PDP. The Agbo Kefa Staraba left PDP. Likely Kele Mofan would likely leave too. So other people are leaving now. So which one is this issue of self-inflicted injury? People are leaving. Fubara was not at the PDP convention in Ibadan. Sure, they even said Rivers State did not send delegation of PDP to Ibadan. You understand? So Fubara has more or less been out. And it makes sense for Fubara because Fubara said the only people that really person that really supported him is Tinubu and APC. Because come to think of it, what level of support did PDP give to Fubara? It wasn't much because at that time most of those PDP governors were fearing for losing their election cases in Supreme Court and all that. So at the end of the day, they decided not to be too much involved so that they will not lose. So Fubara hasn't really gotten so much, he hasn't really gotten real support from PDP. PDP has felt, oh, it's a Wike state, we don't want to offend Wike. Many of the PDP guys have been acting, the principle that most of those PDP stakeholders were using at the time was that they don't want to offend Wike. So they could not help Fubara because of fear of Wike. So at the end of the day, PDP did not really help Fubara. And Fubara has seen it that he was left exposed. You understand? PDP was not helping him. The person, in his own estimation, that helped him was President Tinubu. And going by what Fubara is saying, that if not for President Tinubu, he would have, now he would have been former governor, which is kind of true. When you come to think of it, the State House Assembly was thinking of impeaching Fubara first before those fire or whatever that happened in State House Assembly, a complex, and then they've already started another impeachment just before state of emergency was declared. So Wike has said as much that he wanted Fubara gone. He did not want state of emergency. He wanted Fubara impeached. If he had told the State House Assembly impeach Fubara and they were working on impeaching him, he was only saved by state of emergency. So Fubara is saying that the person that saved him from being now, that if President Tinubu had not helped him, by now he would have been former governor. So it does make sense because that would have likely be the scenario. Although I argue that another scenario would have been for presidents to have called Wike to order. But since he didn't call Wike to order, the other thing was a state of emergency. So now, out of appreciation and the reality that the only person that really helps him, that can really help him, is President Tinubu. Against Wike, the only person that can help him is President Tinubu. So why not really come out and support Tinubu openly? It does make sense when you come to think of it. And now Fubara looks liberated and now singing on your mandate. So those are the situations that are playing out. So it's interesting times. We will wait and see how the things evolve.
On your mandate, we shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate, we shall stand. I'm not going to let you down now. What? The message is very simple. We are the ones that will give that support. And we will give that support with a loud ovation. Because we know that the people of Rivers State are with us. Thank you. God bless you all.
We have the full support. We have positive nod to live where we are because we didn't get any protection. To go to where the reason why we're still standing is because of that place. And the truth is, without Mr. President, there won't be any His Excellency. It would have been former. So we have every reason, because the truth, let nobody be fooled in this state. We have the people, we have the supporters, and we have the bomb. Our only thank you to Mr. President to support it. And we cannot support the president in isolation. And we can't support Mr. President if we don't fully identify with him, not backyard support. So we have taken that decision today since we've gotten the pass. Everyone here who have followed me, who have suffered with me, our decision today, this evening, we are moving to APC.